Average Schmo here, trying to keep the finger away so the finger doesn't speak. And I'm kind of excited. This is my first non-political video. I am in Parksville, New York, exit 98 on Route 17, Sullivan County, the Catskills. And a friend of mine pointed out a few videos on YouTube, pointing out how this town is a ghost town. And this is one of their more fun scenes to put. And that is these buildings that you see. And some of them actually sneak inside and give incorrect guesses of what this building used to be. Well, I'm going to tell them, that this used to be known as Fiddle's Dairy King, an ice cream parlor. When it was active, when Route 17 actually was right there at that intersection and not moved all the way up, this was a very active building. And when news came out that they're going to reroute Route 17 away from this, here I knew people in the nearby towns. They said, to keep the support going here, they would baja, over the guardrail down the hill so they can keep going and get their ice cream from the Dairy King. But as time went on, the damage was done when the highway got moved to the left. And as you see, it's nothing more than a memory now. In fact, it's kind of a memory for me. I took my 3 daughters there, at the time around my birthday, not knowing that was actually the last day it was open. The very next day I saw, the sign, "See you next season, see you in the summer." I'm like, okay, all right. Hey, we got in there, we got ice cream. I'm a happy camper. They never opened. And the thing is, now these ghost town hunters, there is some validity to it. Parksville's not exactly a tourist trap, nor is it a mecca for business. You don't see the business of industry trying to build factories here. But I'm starting to see a bit of revival in other areas. Now, one point I want to point out, they always pointed out this building, among other things, like the old Route 17 diner, and the Parksville Pharmacy. You always see those 3 buildings in these ghost town hunters. What they didn't want to show you is where I'm parked at, across of Fiddle's Dairy King, is an active gas station. And to the left, there's some buildings that are active, including a very good restaurant, some other mom and pop businesses. Now look, if any one of these ghost town hunters want to come over, take a look and reconfirm some stuff, I'll gladly help them. I'll gladly do it. Because hearing some of their guesses, I'm like, oh my God. I can understand getting in the ballpark, but some of their guesses was not even close on a couple of them. Like I said, and anytime they want to come around, there's some, other areas, to give you an idea, Parksville really started dying in the mid-20th century when the railroads stopped. That started the decline. What kept the decline going was the end of the era of the big hotels in Sullivan County. Those of you who are old enough knows you could not get on Broadway, you could not get in Hollywood, you could not get in Detroit, Nashville, unless you were able to pass the Catskills. I still remember, I forget if it's Mel Brooks or Jackie Mason, but they were talking about one comedian in one of the other hotels nearby here, and he claimed to be the man of 1,000 faces. They yelled, "Prove it!" And they counted. And if they looked familiar, go, "You did that already. Doesn't count. Doesn't count." Stars that came in this area, and I still remember seeing the billboards. We are talking, I remember Earth, Wind, and Fire performing. The Catskill Comedian label. To give you an idea, those that are still alive that are considered Catskill comedians would be like Jerry Seinfeld, Billy Crystal. I know it's a name no one wants to drop nowadays, but he was here. Bill Cosby. And many a star from said areas came up here during the summer, enjoyed the pools, enjoyed the nature walks, had a ball. You can find pictures of it on the internet all over the place. I keep joking, you can't be a Catskill comedian anymore, namely because one of the qualifications of being a Catskill comedian, you got to smoke in the bar. And we all know about that no smoking indoor rule. That's dead. But something caught my eye recently. Now, on the date of this recording, August 18th, 2022, Saturday before this, driving, and I see road closed, and something I never thought I would see. Some would call it a street fair. Some would call it a food festival, depending on your location. Some of the city people would call it a block party. But they were having, like a barbecue chicken party in the area. Had the road closed. People were walking up and down the street. I'm going like, I never thought I would see this here. I've seen it in other towns. I remember when I was growing up in the city, you had the block parties. But I never thought I would see it here. I'm wondering, there could be a revival. I kind of hope so. I don't know if it's, business or tourist trap or industry. If it's a tourist trap, please tell me they're going to have one of those mountain roller coasters like they have in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I would not argue on that one. I would be right there going like, okay, I got to do this and write it down. Well, like I said, to these ghost town hunters, you want to come down and revise some of your videos? Get a hold of me. I'll help you. I'll point out what the buildings were. When did they close? The reason why. Some of them I do know, some of them I don't. I'll be honest, but at least I'll be able to help you in a little bit. And not that guessing game that I saw in some of them. Ooh, wow. Anytime. And I know you're going to go, well, what do you know? You're just the average schmo. I just also happen to be here. That's all.